Thank you for being here. Today is Tuesday, November the 21st. It's like all of our other meetings, we will be broadcasting this live on City of Madison YouTube channel and also storing it for future archive purposes. Like all of our council meetings, we'll first stand, bow our heads, recite the Lord's Prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, then we'll get into tonight's business. And thanks for being here.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Clerk, may we have roll call?
Good evening, Council. Bartlett.
Here.
Dan DiTillo.
Here.
Joel Storm.
Here.
Schaefer.
Here.
Lucy DiTillo.
Here.
Krebs has an excused absence, and Tevenot.
Here.
Council, have you had an opportunity to review the minutes from our last council meeting dated November the 8th? If so, we'll entertain a motion to approve those.
I move we approve the minutes as submitted.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Let's move on to resolutions or bills. Katie, I know that Joe is on the phone, but if you wouldn't mind taking over on that part.
Okay.
And this is sponsored by Schaefer.
It is ordinance number 2023-20, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Madison, Indiana, amending certain portions of the City of Madison's Traffic Code ordinances found in Chapter 73 of the City of Madison's Municipal Code. Whereas the City of Madison has an ordinance which establishes the City of Madison's traffic schedules and now finds it necessary to amend such ordinance, and whereas the City of Madison desires to amend the City of Madison Traffic Code Ordinance Chapter 73, Schedule 1, Speed Limits, and hereby adopts the following. Now therefore be it ordained by the Common Council of the City of Madison, Indiana, that the Traffic Code Ordinance previously enacted be amended to reflect as follows. The speed limit on Michigan Road between Autumnwood Drive and Clifty Drive is reduced from 40 miles per hour to 35 miles per hour. The speed limit on Sunrise Crossing Boulevard from Michigan Road to End is established at 20 miles per hour. The ordinance shall become immediately effective upon its adoption by the Common Council, signature of the mayor, enrollment in the Book of Ordinances, and publication of notice required by law. Any ordinance in conflict with the ordinance is hereby repealed. The foregoing ordinance was passed and adopted by the Common Council of the City of Madison, Indiana, and will be adopted on the 19th day of December 2023.
Okay. That's a bill on first reading. Now we'll move on to reports, recommendations, or any other business from standing and select committees of the City Council. Any? Here now we'll move to reports of city officials, and Director of Economic Development Tony Steinhardt is here.
Good evening, councilors. I'll introduce Emily McKinney, our Associate Director, to introduce the first line of business, which is the alcohol permit.
Good evening, Council. I have one new Riverfront liquor license applicant for you tonight. The applicant is River Oak Chop House, which is owned by Elizabeth and Troy Riley. I believe you have their application in your packet. Their application has been reviewed by the Economic and Redevelopment Department and Mayor Courtney, and we believe that they would be an excellent addition to our current liquor license holders. They currently own and operate two other restaurants, Crimson Oak and Steamcliff Farm. I would like to ask that you approve a motion to approve River Oak Chop House's Riverfront liquor license application and allow them to start the process with the state. And Elizabeth and Troy Riley are here if you have any questions for any of us.
I just want to say welcome. Thank you for being here, Elizabeth and Troy. And good evening.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. As Emily was saying, So my family has owned Streamcliff Farm for 50 years, and I opened the restaurant in 1995, and we started selling wine with a farm winery license in 2007. And then my husband and I opened Crimson Oak Restaurant and Pub in North Vernon in November of 2020. That location carries a three-way liquor license. For both of the businesses that we have, we've never had any permit issues. We've never had any violations of any sort. The next business that we're working on here is the River Oak Chop House, and that is located in 605 West Main Street, where Bad Apple Mac has previously been. The concept for this restaurant is going to be similar to Crimson Oak in North Vernon, if you've ever visited it. It's more of an upscale restaurant, kind of chef-inspired kitchen. But here in Madison, we are going to be focusing on steaks and seafood primarily. We're hoping to be open 6 nights a week and do brunch on Saturday and Sunday. Eventually, we would like to be open for lunch also, but we're going to kind of have to wait and see how our staffing issue goes with that. We would like to be able to sell the Streamcliff Farm wine that my family makes, and then also, kind of signature cocktails like we do at Crimson, and then, of course, beer also. The concept is, we're going to be fine dining, so it's not it's a bar with, it's a fine dining place that has a bar, is the concept that we're looking for. So does anyone have any questions for me?
I'll ask a question. First, I'll start with a statement, which is thank you very much for investing in Madison. And what made Madison an attractive community for you to invest in and expand your restaurant businesses to?
Well, we've been open at Crimson for 3 years now, and we have a lot of residents in Madison coming up to Crimson. And so we're asked often if we would be interested in having a restaurant in Madison. But we also get asked about Seymour and Columbus and Scottsburg and other places. But even though I grew up in Jennings County, I love Madison, and we've been here. This has been sort of our place that we enjoy visiting and being a part of for years. The fact that you have so much tourism has been a big factor in us wanting to come, and just in general, you have a higher population, and I feel like as a whole the city is just very forward thinking, and I feel like it's going to be we've already been very welcomed just in the few months that this has kind of been coming along. So yeah, we're looking forward to being a part of it.
Well, we're looking forward to being your partner and seeing the great things that you're going to be offering and the new experiences for Madison as well.
Thank you. Anything else?
I guess I do look forward to trying out the new restaurant. I did Crimson Oak before, and that was really good.
Thank you.
So definitely looking forward to that. And like Mary said, thanks for starting up a new business here. I do see in the application, at the time of the application, the insurance was not quite ready yet.
That insurance has come through. Yes.
So
Yes.
all the I's dotted, I's crossed.
Yes. Yes, it has.
That's what I was wondering about.
Yeah, she sent us her updated insurance a couple days ago, and so yeah, that's been updated, so she has everything.
Council reminder, just the process. This is the beginning of the process for them, because the allocation of the license is coming from a special set aside that the city of Madison or Riverfront districts hold. She'll still go through the application process with the state and our local alcoholic beverage commission.
Mr. Mayor, we need a motion to accept the application.
Yeah, motion to accept the recommendation to award the Riverfront Development liquor license for the applicant.
So I would move that we accept the application that has been approved by the appropriate boards.
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion, council? Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You're welcome to stay for the entire meeting. We're going to have just this wonderful discussion about Madison in just a little bit. And presentations by Mr. Barger's class.
Good evening, again, counselors. On the agenda tonight is a couple of things I would like to update you on. A little project that we've been committed to and has fully seen its commitment to the four major national tenants that have opened there with the conclusion of Kohl's just over a couple of weeks ago at Sunrise Crossing. And some great news about Phase 2, Winterwood, who has received some of their bond capacity for that project to move forward by the state of Indiana. We will see a design finishing in Q1 and closing on the property and construction beginning in Q2 of next year, right on schedule as we expected, as the shops wrapped up and the residents would roll into construction. So we're on target for that to begin, and more information will be coming forth over the next few weeks, so we're excited about that. The shops at Sunrise Crossing continue to exceed expectations. And we talked a little bit about that at the ribbon cutting for Kohl's. All the stores have exceeded their national retailers' expectations for opening day, opening weeks, and opening months. What was really eye-opening for us, Kohl's, on the day of the ribbon cutting and opening for Madison's store, opened 4 other stores, 2 in Texas, 1 in, I believe it was Minnesota, and 1 in, I believe, Georgia. The Madison store led all of those stores in total sales. So I think it's a great showing of support. We know that before the Kohl's numbers have been in, we had 84,000 unique visitors to that shopping center, averaging 2.7 visits over the first 4 months for 225,000 visits into the shopping center. Again, the regional draw is proof in the data. We're drawing from all of southeastern Indiana and northern Kentucky, as we expected, from Frankfort, Kentucky, Owenston, all the way over to Aurora and Lawrenceburg, across I-74 and Batesville, Greensburg, draw a line down to Seymour, and then come down to Scottsburg and draw a line from Scottsburg over to Crestwood, Kentucky. So it is a regional draw, and sort of remarkable to see that as we look at the results of that. I'm often asked about what's going on next there, what's being built out front. Again, I'll just update you, and again, publicly update our public. A mattress firm will be in the middle part of that upper building, that front building, as well as a concept, the new national concept for Domino's Pizza. So understanding that's a move in the community, but it will be a new, their new national concept with a drive-through. On the other end, we have one additional lot for a fast casual restaurant with a drive-through with a number of interested tenants, but nothing yet to announce. And then eventually, we've been working on, and the developers and the city have been working on recruiting a full-service restaurant for the parcel behind AutoZone. And we think now that the shops are open and the data will start to prove through the Christmas season, we'll have a little bit more of a story to tell about the draw of the shops at Sunrise Crossing for those tenants. So we're excited about what that can bring, hopefully in the first half of 2024. So that project's moving on as well. Again, tonight you did get an introduction of ordinance for some speed reductions around and associated with that project. Traffic Committee, I presented a couple different times on the needs for those. So again, would ask for your support for those things. The Michigan Road project specifically is trying to enhance and better make that part of town safer now that we have the number of cars and traffic and pedestrians and bikes and golf carts to come in line with the Federal Highway Administration standards through their Uniform Traffic Control Devices Manual, or the Manual of Unified Traffic Control Devices. So, and that requires us to have a share of road speed being no more than 35 miles an hour. So both Chief Wallace and I thought that was important as we start seeing the activity along Michigan Road with the increased golf carts and potential bikes. So again, just a quick update on that and reminder, I'm here for any questions you might have as it relates to economic development or redevelopment that's been going on this year, or any burning questions.
Back to Winterwood, construction 2024 Q2. Do you know how many units there's going on right now?
Yeah, we're on target for what's been presented before, 183 to 189, depending on the final unit counts. The mayor and I and Winterwood have been in discussions about mixes of 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. So there's a little flex there in unit counts, but, and again, that'll be a rolling construction period starting in Q2. Because as soon as they start finishing units and it's safe to rent those out, they'll start to rent and inhabit units as other units are continuing to be built.
An estimated date on the completion, when you start renting these out?
I don't have a date on when units will be available, but I would anticipate within 6 months or so, 6 to 9 months of the start of construction. So this time, maybe next year, some units would be available for rent within the community. And the total construction of the project to be done 18 to 24 months after construction. Would be a normal. Phase 1 has a lot of infrastructure improvements for the site, roads, sewer and water to be put in. So all that work will happen before sticks start to go up for the apartments. So Phase 1 will take a little longer to get out of the ground, so I don't want to totally commit. But I suspect by this time next year, there'll be information if they're not already renting units in the community. Much needed, I think we all know.
It'll be a major investment, about $35 million for the housing development, and as he mentioned, it'll be kind of a rolling construction schedule. And we need the housing desperately, and that area up there, Tony, looks fantastic. I think the recommendations for speed limits or speed reductions is appropriate, and there's a tremendous amount of traffic coming to that corridor, which is going to bode well for us in collecting the data to continue to pitch Madison and pitch investors to Madison.
I'm not on the hot seat tonight anymore, huh? Good. All right. Well,
Thank you. Have everybody had an opportunity to see Birdman?
Yeah, Birdman is. I forgot Birdman.
Birdman is there.
Birdman is installed. The wall is not yet complete. I think it was really important that the council, the redevelopment commission, and the administration supported a previous comprehensive plan to make that a place, right? More than just a shopping center. And I think the Hilltop residents hopefully will see that this year. The Christmas decorations are there. They should be able to, see that Clifty and Michigan Road is sort of the main of the Hilltop. And I think that's really important for our community, for our visitors, but more importantly for the residents of Madison to feel a place of pride on the Hilltop that we're going to continue to invest in and try to continue to make it a thriving environment for our community. So thank you for your support over the last year. There's more to come in 2024, and you'll see me many more times. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Keep up the good work. Moving on, no bills on third reading. We do have a bill on second reading. Katie?
This would be ordinance number 2023-19, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Madison, Indiana, establishing the FEMA Grant Fund.
And we're open up for comments or questions from council or the public on the establishment of that fund, which was essentially like the last council meeting where we're establishing a specific non-reverting fund to control grant proceeds that we're receiving for the expenditure of public safety purposes.
I have a question. Do we know what the award amount is for the grant?
Chief Wallace is here. You want to talk about the FEMA grant? Was it like 96,000?
Yeah, I believe that is correct.
And Councilman, this is a control fund, so like the fund that we created for the Bethany Legacy Foundation, any additional funds we may get on a recurring basis from FEMA would come into this control fund and then be appropriated out for its intended purpose, which here states it's a riverfront camera system, explosive training for police K-9, and that's the primary purpose for the FEMA grant.
That is correct, and our police K-9 is actually out on the streets right now. It's a dual-purpose K-9, obviously explosives, and it's also a tracking K-9 as well. So we converted, my truck, they took it away. You got to actually convert it over to a K-9 vehicle, so it's working out very well. But and as the mayor said, then also the cameras, much needed on Vaughn Drive, will also be in place as well. So.
Chief Wallace, do we know from what extent the cameras will continue on? So what street
Yes,
on the west side?
They should cover the entire length of Vaughn Drive from Vernon all the way down to Ferry Street.
And has there been, any kind of understanding how much that'll cost?
Well, it's all part of this grant. I don't have the exact number on that. That was split between those cameras and the K-9, but it's the lion's share of the grant, so, yeah.
I thought it was right around 96 to 100,000.
I think so, yeah.
And
There's a,
Originally, I think it was 5 cameras, and then we realized that needed to be expanded, so
Yes.
I think we're still waiting on that final quote.
But yeah, that's the area which covered obviously, and the focus is on on our boat ramp. FEMA and Homeland Security, obviously with all the boats that we do have docking throughout the summer, all of our visitors, it was important that, that we have the camera systems and the K-9 for that purpose.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Establishing the fund just allows us to receive that money in and then start paying bills.
Some good accountability, and like, thank Katie for that as well, for her hard work.
Barring additional comment, I would move that we waive the rules and move this on to third reading.
I will second that.
any discussion on that?
Do a roll call vote to move that on to third reading. Tevenall,
Yes.
Lucy DiTillo,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Storm,
Yes.
Bartlett,
Yes.
Dan DiTillo.
Yes.
Moving it on to third reading, ordinance number 2023-19, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Madison, Indiana, establishing the FEMA Grant Fund. Roll call vote. Lucy DiTillo,
Yes.
Tevenall,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Storm,
Yes.
Bartlett,
Yes.
and Dan DiTillo.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, council. Move that on and complete that. The next part of our meeting is public comment. If there's anybody here who would like to address the mayor's office or council, please come to the podium and just identify your name and address and what your statement is, please. Hearing none, then the opportunity is mine to give a mayor's comment, which is basically Happy Thanksgiving. I want to thank our guests here tonight. Thank you for your investment here. I want to also welcome back Mr. Barger's students. If you would like to come back at any future council meeting where it might take 2 hours and you really get a good handle on what we do. This is your government in action, and tonight you saw us talk about public safety. You also saw an investor coming here wanting to make an investment in Madison and continue to improve the experiences of our community for not just the city of Madison, but the region. And you heard reports from our Director of Economic Development of the almost 250,000 people who have visited the shops at Sunrise Crossing so far, which has been phenomenal, as well as dealing with our housing needs. So lots of things there. And again, happy Thanksgiving. Council, I'll turn it over to you. Any statement there? Otherwise, our next meeting will be December the 5th.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you. Thanks, everybody.